Welcome to the learning module, Making Healthy Changes. I'm a registered dietitian who will be presenting to you on what you need to know to make small, healthy changes in your daily routine to decrease your risk of another stroke. Making changes is always challenging, and your healthcare team is here to help you figure out what you should focus on first and set goals that you can reach to reduce the risk of another stroke. Don't try to make all the changes overnight. Start with something that is relatively easy and build on your successes. The presentation today will focus on healthy food choices, being more active, quitting smoking, drinking less alcohol, and how to make a plan. Small, healthy changes in your daily routine can decrease your risk for another stroke. Don't try to make all the changes at once. It is not sustainable, and we want you to be successful. Even minor changes to your diet can add up to big health benefits. Eating balanced meals will help you to increase your intake of healthy foods, manage your weight, keep your blood pressure down, lower your cholesterol, control your blood sugar levels, and increase your energy level. All these factors can reduce your risk of stroke. Eat more vegetables and fruit. They are low in calories, fat, and sodium or salt, which can help to reduce cholesterol, lower blood pressure, and maintain a healthy weight. Eating more fiber will help to reduce your cholesterol, lower your blood pressure, and maintain a healthy weight. The best sources of fiber are vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and legumes such as lentils. Use this image of the plate to help you think about how your meals can have more vegetables, fruits, and fiber in them. Make sure that half of your plate is filled with vegetables and fruits to increase your intake of fiber. Eat legumes such as lentils or kidney beans instead of animal-based protein to help add fiber and less fat. Limit the starchy foods to 1/4 of the plate and choose whole grains more often to add more fiber from this food group. Reducing the amount of sodium or salt in your diet can bring down your blood pressure and cut your risk of stroke and heart disease by about 1/3. Most sodium comes from packaged food and eating out, so try to avoid packaged foods as often as possible and look for sodium-free versions if you're eating prepared foods. Cooking at home with foods you make yourself is the best way to limit your sodium intake. Limit eating out in restaurants to reduce intake of salt. It isn't possible to eliminate salt from your diet as all foods contain it. You need to find ways to reduce it. Aim for foods with less than 200 milligrams of sodium per serving. Read the labels. Season your food with herbs, spices, garlic, and lemon instead of salt or soy sauce to add flavor. There are ways to reduce salt. Avoid processed foods, limit eating fast food, and avoid salty snacks. Watch out for canned soups, bacon, pickles, and lunch meats, as they are very high in sodium. Try to avoid them as much as possible. Restaurant food, especially from fast food places, is always high in salt, so try to avoid eating in these type of restaurants. Salty snack foods like potato chips, cheesies, pretzels need to be avoided. Look for alternatives that do not contain added salt. Examples include unsalted nuts, fruits and veggies, yogurt, and unsalted popcorn as healthy alternatives. Reading food labels can be confusing and hard to figure out what it all means. Look at the portion size and compare it to the size of the portion you are eating. Remember, the portion size is not necessarily the amount you will be eating. It is simply the portion of food that the nutrition facts are based on. Find the sodium content. Choose foods with less than 200 milligrams per serving. Fats are not all the same. Saturated and trans fats raise cholesterol levels. High cholesterol is a risk factor for stroke. Unsaturated fats decrease cholesterol. Unsaturated fats are often called the healthy fats and should be eaten more often to help decrease cholesterol levels. Eat a balanced diet full of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean meat, fish, or alternatives like legumes. Avoid eating highly processed foods, red meat with lots of marbling, whole fat milk, butter, and skin on poultry, as these are some examples of saturated fats and should be avoided. Saturated fats are considered the bad fat, which can raise your cholesterol level. To reduce your intake of saturated fat, choose lean meats and fish, drink 1% or skim milk, or consider trying a milk alternative like soy or almond beverage to reduce saturated fat content. Read the food label to check for amounts of saturated and unsaturated fats. Aim for 3 grams of total fat and less than 2 grams of saturated fat per serving. Find ways to reduce fat. Deep frying foods will increase the amount of saturated fat you consume, so try to avoid eating them. Limit your intake of foods like red meat, dark poultry and skin, high-fat dairy and egg yolks because they are naturally higher in saturated fat. Try to use non-hydrogenated margarine like Becel instead of butter to reduce saturated fats. Any food that is highly processed likely contains higher amounts of saturated and trans fats. Think about cookies, chips, and deep-fried foods. Making some baked goods at home is a good option, but try to remember to limit your intake of items that contain butter or get creative and use some alternative items to help reduce the fat. Added sugar provides energy in the form of calories, but it has no other nutritional value. If the body doesn't use the calories, they are stored as fat. There is no specific amount of sugar recommended as part of a healthy diet. Eat less sugar to maintain a healthy weight. To reduce sugar, drink water, limit baked goods, and try not to drink pop or fruit juices. An easy way to be sure you're eating well is to reduce your portion sizes. Use your hands to help you measure healthy portions. To determine the right portion of grains, starches, and fruits, your fist can be your easy way to measure that you are not overdoing it. The palm of your hand can measure a serving of meat, and both of your hands together can measure a serving of vegetables. Use your fingertip as a guide to adding butter or margarine to your food. Consider using your side plate instead of the dinner plate at meals to keep the portions in check. Using smaller plates and bowls is an easy way to reduce how much you are eating. Over the years, the plate size has grown, and often we eat far more than we need to simply because of how much food we can fit on the plate. When a smaller plate is filled properly, it can make us feel more satisfied than when there is a smaller portions of food on a large dinner plate. Avoid supersized portions and second helpings. In restaurants, choose an appetizer portion or ask for half of the meal to be put in a container for takeout before it is served. You'll have a meal for the next day as well. Use a plate model as an easy way to plan your portions. Fill up half of your plate with vegetables. Potatoes don't count here. Fill a quarter of the plate with whole grains such as brown rice or whole wheat pasta, or a starch like potatoes or rice. The last quarter of the plate is for meat or alternatives like legumes or tofu. Regular physical activity for about 2.5 hours or more each week is a great way to maintain a healthy weight, reduce high blood pressure, lower cholesterol levels, manage diabetes, and reduce stress. Your risk of stroke can be reduced by 30% with regular physical activity. Talk to the healthcare team about the right way for you to get active. They will factor in your abilities, your health, and interests and suggest something safe. Ask about programs in your community that would meet your needs. No matter your state of health, there is something you can do to stay active. Maybe you can go for more walks or learn some exercises you can do from a chair or in bed. Start with 10 to 15-minute sessions daily and increase the time, frequency, and intensity as you grow stronger. Eventually, you can work towards the recommended 2.5 hours total per week. Smoking can increase your risk of stroke. 20 minutes after your last cigarette, your blood pressure and heart rate will drop and reduce your risk of another stroke. Quitting will decrease the plaque in your blood vessels, which decreases your risk of stroke. If you smoke, quitting is one of the best things you can do to reduce your risk of another stroke. You might be afraid that it will be too hard to quit, but there is help available. Make a plan for quitting. Get information from the team about supports available to help you be successful. Heavy drinking and binge drinking are risk factors for high blood pressure and stroke. Moderate drinking guidelines suggest that women drink no more than 10 drinks a week, with no more than 2 a day on most days. And no, you can't save them up for Friday night. For men, the moderate drinking guidelines are 15 drinks a week and no more than 3 a day on most days. Remember, your age, body weight, and health history might suggest you drink less than the recommendations for moderate drinking. Check with your doctor. You may be wondering what the definition of a drink is. Well, consider a 341 milliliter bottle of 5% beer or 5-ounce glass of wine or 1.5 ounce of hard liquor a drink. We have talked about a number of ways you can reduce your risk of another stroke. Healthy food choices are an important way to reduce saturated fat, salt, and sugar intake and increase intake of fiber and healthy fats. Being more active is a great way to reduce blood pressure, lose weight, and decrease stress. Quitting smoking will help manage blood pressure and decrease plaque buildup. Drinking less alcohol can help reduce blood pressure. Now that we know all of the healthy changes that need to be made to reduce risk of another stroke, let's talk about how we can make a plan for success. Making a plan is an important way to ensure you are successful in change. Number 1, set a goal. Goal setting can help you make lifestyle changes to improve your health. Your goal should be something you can measure so you will know you achieved it. For example, set a goal of increasing intake of fruits and vegetables. Start by making a target to eat 5 servings daily. Number 2, make a plan. Change can be hard, especially if you try to make too many changes at once. You are more likely to reach your goals with a plan. To help you reach your goal of 5 servings of fruits and vegetables daily, ask yourself how many you eat now. Then you will know how many you need to add to reach your goal of 5. Think of ways you can add the extra servings in. like having a salad for lunch or adding a piece of fruit to your breakfast or afternoon snack. Number 3, prepare for obstacles. There are many things that might get in your way to success, so it is important that you anticipate these barriers and have a plan to overcome them. If you have a goal to increase your exercise and go for a walk in the morning, but have a doctor's appointment scheduled one day, you may need to adjust the plan. Plan to walk after lunch or dinner instead. This way you won't be missing your exercise for that day. Number 4, get support. Seek help when you need it. Make a list of people in your life that can help you achieve your goals and support you along the way. Ask someone to help you cut up extra fruit and vegetables to reach your goal for fruit and vegetable intake daily, or ask a friend to walk with you to keep you on track to reach your exercise goal. Number 5, track your progress. Keeping track of your progress can help you achieve your goal. It also helps you to identify which parts of your plan are working and which parts aren't. Write down your servings of fruit and vegetables daily so that you can track how well you are doing to achieve your goal of 5 servings daily. Number 6, don't give up. Reward yourself for achieving small goals along the way. It can be hard to stick to a plan if you are tired, stressed, or not feeling well. Setbacks are a normal part of the process. They are not a failure. You can always turn a setback around. Remind yourself why you want to make the change. Think about how important it is to you. Look at what caused the setback and what you can do if it happens again. If you are struggling to make it for your morning walk, consider picking a different time to walk or ask a friend to join you for company and keep you accountable. If adding salads to your meal plan was the way you were going to eat more vegetables, but you find it hard to prep the ingredients, look for some salad kits that have the salad items prepared at the store, or ask a family member for some help with cutting items for you. Number 7, celebrate the small victories along the journey to your longer-term goals. Whenever you make a small step toward your goal, pat yourself on the back and congratulate yourself. Reward yourself with something you enjoy, like time with a friend or watching a favorite movie. You may not always reach your fruit and vegetable serving goals each day, but hopefully over time you'll find it easier to eat more than you did in the past. There are many things you can do to reduce your risk of stroke. Making healthy choices for your diet and lifestyle are important ways to prevent another stroke. If you have questions after viewing this presentation, please ask to speak with a dietitian or another member of the healthcare team.